Paradise is going to be the biggest content update probably for this year, and we're of course getting it on the 23rd of July, but China is getting it tomorrow and release their patch notes, so it gives us all the info we need to know about what's coming with Paradise. One quick disclaimer for everyone watching right now: please do not do your cube tickets, because you can actually use these cube tickets to exchange them for hell keys that is going to give you great rewards. Of course, the amount of rewards we'll have to see once China of course gets this tomorrow and we will get it on the 23rd, but it's better to save your cube tickets right now than to waste them and not have any hell tickets to use, because you use them in the cube instead. We're saving our cube tickets, so let's take a look of course at what kind of rewards we can expect from Paradise. So Paradise is here, a brand new game mode launched in China, a top adventure for everyone. This of course what's awesome, it's going to be above 1580 and above. You can see right here the park basic setting, which of course means Paradise. We need 1580. You need to have done the Warzone quest for south part of Kurazan. So of course if you use the power pass, you immediately have access to this, and that's why it's so good. So Paradise is going to have different seasons, and the seasons are meant to be with a leaderboard. So you have during the whole season time to participate in this leaderboard. But what's actually kind of interesting, we'll see this later on, is that the leaderboard is in different sections. So you're going to have different stages you're going to have to complete, but these stages are locked behind time-gated stuff. So of course a few of the rewards already shown right away, and I have the translated image. So here we can see some of the new adventurer cards. So we can see these are given out for the trial week, so I guess these are given out every single week, and you can see this is for rank 2 to 10. There's a rank 1 version as well, but I don't think it's shown in here. There's a rank 11 to 30 and another 11 to 30, which is pretty cool. So there's two different ones. I think they're the same, but I don't know why they're showing the same image twice, but it is what it is. And now you can see there is a new slot for the brand new item, the Orb. Ooh, I can tell you guys, the Orb is the biggest game changer for supports in the world, and I'm so happy about this one. You'll see about it later on to this video. As well, there's going to be a new theme park entrances and shop as well for some exchanges. This is where you can exchange your cube tickets, which could be pretty cool. So if you want the translation of the image, is gonna be this one right here. You can see Paradise Exchange. Nothing too much going on in this, but like I said, I translated every single image for you guys. So first of all, we have ourselves the fantasy gameplay, which is gonna be the first stage. This is the Chaos Dungeon. The second stage is gonna be the boss fights, and then the third stage is where you're gonna get yourself a big amount of rewards. So in here you can see this is the image, and then we see there is gonna be a nice little gameplay demonstration of a Chaos Dungeon. Literally, you just have to take on these mobs, and they of course follow a different gearing system. You can see as well, you will be able to challenge 5 challenges per week in fantasy mode. Each entry to the fantasy mode will consume 1 entry, and they refresh every Wednesday. So you have to do 5 of these every week, and you can see that you can unlock more stages as well. There is going to be the entry right here, the power level. I have more translated images as well in just a second, and then you can see the further you go, the more stages you unlock. So it already takes a few weeks to get to the final stage, which I think is stage 10. So because of course you only have 5 entries, it takes at least 2 weeks to reach stage 10, even if you're powerful enough. And maybe you're not powerful enough, you just have to farm more. So this is like at least like maybe the 1 or 2 months off just grinding alone just to do these Chaos Dungeon versions. Here we see some translated images of the stuff. You need your self-suggested treasure power with points, the amount of entries, and then the stages over here. Fancy stage 1, it's 1 person, so no grouping, and you can see there's multiple stages, which is going to be pretty cool. Now we have the trial gameplay. This is fighting against the bosses. So the core goal is to defeat the lord of the stage within 1 minute. But of course, it's going to be based on how fast you kill them in that 1 minute as well, what your ranking will be, which I think is pretty cool. In the trail mode, the player will gain Blessing Paradise, which will be immune to stiffness, being hit at abnormal status, which is kind of cool. So, you know, push immune, para immune, all that kind of stuff, which is very nice. And the progress rewards of the trial are distributed according to the remaining health of the boss in the current stage. So if you fail, you probably still get some rewards, but you don't get as many as if you would have completed it. And this is well the stage where you get yourself the orb selection boxes, from which is going to be the new item we're getting today in this update, and that's going to be for the 3rd, 6th, and 10th stage. So even if you're not powerful enough, you can get yourself an orb, which is probably a nerf version on the 3rd, on the 6th, and then the ultimate one and the 10th stage, which is pretty cool. A few of the images. First, we have the Blessing of Paradise. This is going to be the buff you're going to get for the push immune. Then here is going to be a few of the rewards, which is going to be, of course, your blessing solars, which is going to be a few rewards of that. We're going to get yourselves your treasure to use and upgrade to your character, and then a ticket as well, which is pretty nice. And then this, of course, is the big one. This shows the opening date of the trials for the bosses. So if you want to take on the 10th boss for that final orb, which we're going to see all the way at the end of this video, because they show it at the end what the orbs do, you can see it takes 2.5 months for this to even be available. So even if you're strong, even if you're the best or whatever, you still have to wait 2.5 months for this orb to arrive, which I think is pretty cool, because some people that are maybe a little bit less geared, maybe a bit less good, they still have like a lot of time to try and catch up to beat those stages, so they don't have to be like, oh, I have to defeat stage 10 week 2, because otherwise I'm gonna get gatekept because everyone has the best orb and I just cannot do it. But you literally have 2.5 months to prepare for this and upgrade your gear, which I think is very good. As well, the mode does have a ranking system, which we will see the rewards for later, and they're ranked by profession. So every bard, every paladin, every whatever is going to have a ranking system typed into that, and with the highest clearance time and a record for that character, you will be based on a ranking. So there, of course, is going to go to rank 10, and if nobody repeats rank 10, or there's one person rank 10, of course that person wins. But if there's like 100 people rank 10, then it's based on the fastest time you clear the trail, and you know, you get yourself some weekly rewards, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so you get yourself a lot of rewards. The top 30 players in each profession and server will receive additional rewards, including portraits, badges, titles, which is pretty cool. So it's every week. It's kind of crazy. So you still have to grind for these, and you can see these are going to be the rewards, and they're actually kind of crazy. Yeah, so the honorary rewards are at the weekly settlement and are limited time content that can be used for 1 week. So, you know, if you're earning it, you only have it for 1 week, so everyone really has to grind for these. And I think it's cool because it gives you something to do. Like maybe on your Tuesday or Monday, you have nothing to do. You're going to just grind Paradise for 2 days, and maybe win yourself the ranking. Then you can enjoy yourself your honorary rewards for the whole week, and then it's going to be pretty cool. And all players can receive weekly ranking rewards with a minimum of 3 purgatory keys each week. But if your ranking continues to rise, the quality will as well improve of the keys, so you get yourselves better keys. So of course we have the rewards here. Let's take a look at the image. So yeah, here you can see we have the weekly rewards on the left. So these are going to be probably some breaths or Orehas or whatever. We do not know the contents of this chest, sadly. And then this is going to be the name cards you get. But you can see the final reward, which is going to be the final season rewards. If the whole season is done, you get yourself these rewards if you finish. And of course, currently, it's a little bit up to debate how much money this actually is. But if we know from images, right, from the images that we know from Korea, I could be wrong, guys. Like, take this with a grain of salt. I think these are the numbers. It's 500k gold, 200k gold, 100k, 20k or 50k, and then this is probably 20k at the bottom, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think this is 10k. This I think is a 20k bar, because these bars are a little bit of a weird icon, but I think it's 500, 200, 100, 50, 20 for the top 10. So that, of course, is still crazy. But, you know, you have to rank quite high. First place gets a big bonus. 1 to 10, I think is possible. 1 to 30 is maybe possible. And the rest should be pretty easy maybe to get. We do not have that many players, right? Keep that in mind. We don't have that many players. But, you know, you could do this on every single character that exists in the game. So you can make alts, make the 1580, and try to go for these final rewards. And maybe you'll get them on like a really weird character. But, you know, at least these things are just, you know, you can use them for a whole roster. And then this is going to be the name card. This is going to be the icon behind your level. And then there's going to be a special title. So I think the rewards are pretty cool. Then we have, of course, the Purgatory gameplay, which is going to be the hell, and this is what you use the keys for. This is what I said at the start as well. This is where you use your cube tickets as well if you want extra keys. So this is going to be pretty cool. So the goal of Purgatory gameplay is to continuously enter the depths of hell and defeat the monsters there, and finally obtain a reward based on your final level of settlement. So you're just going to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and the deeper you go, the better your rewards are going to be. So you can see this is going to be a 1580 version, and this even gives the big one, Orehas. Confirmed! We're getting Orehas, beautiful. We're getting free tappies. We're getting free taps as well. Like for just honing taps, we get free tappies for quality. We get bound gold. We get like advanced honing scrollies. This is crazy, guys. Like every time you enter, of course, a key will be consumed, and there's 100 floors. Like it's just insane. And of course, eventually you'll end up at the bottom, and you can choose one of these 3 chests. Sadly, this is the only image I couldn't translate. It just didn't try to recognize what says in the air. But you can choose one of the rewards. It will tell you what's in the chest, and then you can just choose what you can get, and you can see this one was translated. I'll show it in a little bit what kind of rewards you can expect, which are pretty good. Of course, I don't know what kind of level this was done at, if this was a level 100 reward or if it's like a level 50 or level 10 or whatever. I don't know what kind of reward this is at the end, so we have to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, but it's still pretty cool. So here we have a little image. So why I said I don't think it's a level 100 floor, because it says here highest record 53rd floor. You can see it can drop 5 times when entering. I don't know what this really means, can drop 5 times when entering. So we have to see this when it's in there. It's a 1-person instance as well. Unable to use ordinary potion. Very interesting. So I guess you just have 1 life. So this means that hell is going to be very easy on classes that have shields, classes that maybe have self-healing like Shadow Hunter, or supports, you know, they can use their own heal. So it's interesting that you cannot use ordinary potions in this raid. This could be limited to using, like, you know, the potion you can use in the random fields, like the ones that heal you over time. Maybe it's restricted to that. You can still use yourself the big potion, like the 50% and whatever. But it could be that you're literally restricted on using any healing besides your own character, which is kind of interesting to see. This is going to be the Purgatory Key. Number of seasons can drop 5 times. I don't know what they mean with this. Maybe you can just enter 5 times with the same key. I don't know, maybe you get 5 lives with 1 key, but it's a bit uncertain with the translation. And here you can see a bit of the rewards, which is kind of interesting. So we see some destruction stones times 60. We see some Blessing of the Sun times 48. So that's actually pretty good. That's going to be the juice materials. Same Grace of the Sun times 24. Refined Guardian Stones 200. So it seems that the blue and red stones are a little bit low in this drop specifically. We see 28 honor shards, but you can see a mass amount of juice mats. So like that's going to be the extra material you add to get a better percentage honing chance. And as well, there's a tier 5 stock refining auxiliary box. I do not really know what this is. This could be just for Paradise Refinement, because it looks more depending on that, but it could be just a weird translation for some other item we have inside the game. But it seems that this person chose a box more based on better juice mats, because like I said, you can choose what you want, because there's no Orehas in this one, so you can maybe choose an Orehas box as well. I'm really sad they didn't choose an Orehas box, because we do not know how many we can get. But looking at these amounts, I would say it's maybe possible to get like 20 to 50 Orehas from one run. That would be absolutely amazing. Of course, it's not a ton, but you know, I think it's still a very good start to get to sell some free materials every single week. Maybe it's even more. Maybe it's 100 Orehas. We do not know. But looking at how many blues and reds you get and the other stuff, I would say 20 to maybe 100 max. I think 100 is pretty generous if that would happen, but yeah, looking at the amount of materials we're getting right now, I would say it's around that amount. Then we have ourselves the Noble Phantasm system, and this is going to be your accessories, your sort of gear you're farming inside of the game. There's going to be a lot of text on the screen. I'm just going to skip past this, most of it. I'm just going to tell you what it's about, because it's pretty hard to explain. And the reason for that is it's just a bunch of nonsense right now is being shown off of a few random items, but it doesn't really tell us much of how it's going to be happening inside of the raid, because, you know, there's going to be plenty of different roles and whatever that's going to be biz, and you don't really need to know this information. It's just that there's going to be 6 different equipment slots: the Incense Burner, the Horn, the Mask, the Cup, the Bell, and the Holy Mirror. They all have different qualities. They can go all the way up to Ancient, and if they are above Legendary, they can have a special resonance tied to that piece as well, and that resonance is going to give them even more powerful buffs. We'll see an example in just a little bit of this item, which will get a lot of cool buffs because it's a high tier weapon. You can refine these slots as well, so you can like hone them. The higher hone they're gonna get, you're gonna get yourselves other benefits. You can see it goes all the way up to level 15. We'll see these benefits as well in just a second. And you can go ahead and just refine them in this screen, which will cost these stones. You can see the percentage chance right here. And then as well, you have yourself a Noble Phantom Resonance, which is sort of like quality tapping for like some base stats of your character. And you can see this uses this stone, and you can press tap, and if you get success, you get higher Phantasm. And if you have Phantasm you do not need, so any of the cups or mirrors, then you can extract them for materials. So that's just kind of how it works. There's an auto dismantle system as well, and then there is going to be a comet power. And what's really cool to know about this comet power, this is recommended. So if you have like a stage 10 requiring 100,000 power, but you have 90,000, you can still try to attempt it. It's not a hard requirement that you need before you can actually enter a stage. So that's kind of the way I can describe it to you guys, and I'll show you right now a few of the images of this system. So this shows that you have yourself the accessories equipped, what kind of stage they're at, and you can resonance them as well to make them higher. This is the quality. This is what kind of benefits you're getting from a rare instance burner. Gives 25% maximum health, gives some power. Here you can see an evil sword, level 10, and it gets a bunch of different things because it's been honed so much. You can see, of course, in here what these hones would be. So this is, I think, pretty cool. So you get yourself a recovery for characteristics in battle, which is like a heal. This physical strength increase, penetration of the fans, you know, it's like a lot of different things you can get from these things, which will mean like we can know this information right now, but there's gonna be so many items, and we're just gonna have to find some good passives. Like, this is what it is. And then up there we can see the chance to go up for a stage. So it's a 70% chance to go up and a 30% chance to just stay at stage 4. At least you cannot go down, which is pretty nice. And this is the quality tapping. You can see you can up your stats. It can be raised or lowered by 1 stage each. So this is like a very random upgrade kind of thing. But at least it's, you know, only stones, is not gold. And this is the assemble menu, and this is the auto extraction menu, and then this is another thing that shows a few of the items. So you can see gives you some special silver and stuff, and you cannot see this above here, just shows their combat power. So nothing too interesting in my opinion on this, because we'll just have to see it when it's in the game. It doesn't tell us much right now. So this is the big one, guys. Here we go. The orb system. We already know how we can get to orbs. We can get them from completing the 3rd, 6th, and 10th level of the trial within the time limit to receive the Paradise Orb self-selected box. Woo! There's 3 types of orbs in the current version, so there could be coming more. And these guys are crazy. I can tell you, this, in my opinion, is the biggest game changer in Lost Ark in a long time. And I'll show you why. Alright, here we go. Orbs. We're gonna even zoom in a little bit. We have ourselves the projection orb, we have the illusion orb, and we have the natural orb. Okay? First of all, we have ourselves the projection orb. This one is super simple. When you're attacking the monster above the leader's level, which is a lot of bosses in the game, you just go ahead and shoot out 7 spears, and each of these spears will do 2.5 million damage every 30 seconds. So it's pretty decent. It will equal to around like 500,000 DPS increase. It's fine. Then we have ourselves the Spiritual Illusion Orb. This one is for Chaos Dungeons because it releases a illusion with a radius of 6 meters around it, doing damage, and if it hits the enemies multiple times, it will do a lot more damage to them. 20-second cooldown. Okay. Good as well, you know, damage. But the last one is big. The only thing I do not know right now what they mean with Secret Technique of Transcendence. This could, I think this means T-skill, but I'm not 100% sure. This could mean awakening. I don't think this means hyper awakening because the cooldown is 45 seconds. That doesn't make sense. It's either T-skill or it's awakening, but I think it's T-skill. So let's just assume it's T-skill, okay? So when using your T-skill, summon a wave of enchantment with a radius of 6 meters. To the field, internal enemies will deal 3.7 million fixed damage per second for 5 seconds. So it's going to be doing around 15 million damage, okay? Pretty good if they stay in the field. For bosses, this probably happens often. But for every second you're in that circle themselves, so the person using this orb and the army, which probably just means team, because otherwise I have no clue what our army means. It probably means team, because this is going to be the support orb. You will be restored by 8,888 HP per second for 5 seconds. This is huge, guys. This is huge, because that means 8,888 HP times 5. You will heal 44,000 HP every 45 seconds, assuming this is with T-skills, and you're going to use this when it's up, blah, blah, blah. You know, every 45 seconds, you will heal this amount. So if we divide this by 45 and times it by 60, we already are healing on average of around 60,000 HP a minute. That's insane, right? Currently, there's no way to heal or anything like that. There's some passives that heal you for like 1,000, 2,000 HP sometimes. But 60,000 guaranteed heal every minute for the whole party if they're standing in the circle is mental. But this is not all, because it doesn't say anything about that is limited to one person per group. Okay? And even if this will only be eventually personal, maybe our army means something. It doesn't mean team. It doesn't mean maybe your pets or whatever. I don't think it does, because that doesn't make sense. It should mean team. That still means that you personally can heal 60,000 HP per minute. Which means that kind of eliminates, if you are a decent player, this eliminates the use of potions, of needing as many shields as you did before, as needing heals, because you're just healing 60,000 HP on your own. But keep in mind, if this means our army means team, you can do this times 4. Because if every person, oh, not divided by 4, sorry, times 4 times 4. This means that if your whole party runs this orb right here, the Sacred Natural Orb, you are healing 237,000 HP per minute, which totally would cancel out the need for any healing in most scenarios. No support heal needed, no artist orbs, no bard heals. Even paladin heal kind of becomes obsolete because of this orb right here. It's that much healing that it's omega broken. Okay? Like, to put it into perspective, if I right now go to in here, right, and we consume 60% of this potion, because we don't have Cursed Dole, that's 60% of 281,000 HP. And we saw that this whole thing is healing 237. So I'm healing around like 90% of my HP for free. So every minute, I get 1.5 elemental HP potions just thrown out there. Am I wrong? You know, is it gonna only heal me? Even if it does that, it's still good. 50,000 HP every 45 seconds is crazy. That's still a lot of HP. Like, if you're a decent player, you will not need more. This is perfect for supports as well, like bards that like to use Wom, and then they're crucified for not using shields or heals. Now you can heal yourself. You can just wear this orb. Your whole team wears this orb. You don't need heals anymore. You get yourself all the juicy triple damage buffs 24/7. It is perfect. But there we have it, guys. That is Paradise explained, everything going on. I hope it made sense. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys are most excited for. I'm excited for the rewards from this, from like hell. I'm excited for the weekly rewards. I'm excited for the end rewards, but I'm mostly excited for this orb. I can't wait to see how this changes the meta. So guys, I'll say thanks so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, I would highly appreciate a like down below, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Join me on twitch.tv/ImDefild. If you guys need any questions, I'll be live again tomorrow on Wednesday, because Tuesday kind of is my day off. And I'll see you guys later for another video. Take care.